Y'all, this episode, woo, made up for last week, y'all. Hold on. Wow, y'all, they bought it this time. They made up for that pauses episode. This episode was really good. Oh my goodness. Whew. Well, it wasn't Tommy that killed Ghost. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Wow, it's blowing me away. Whew. That was a lot going on in that episode. So, the plot is Tommy is on a path to avenge LaKeisha's murder. Elisa Marie investigates what's on a USB stick given to her by her father. Tommy must destroy the evidence and he might need Ghost's help to retrieve it. Whew. Yo, this episode. Woo! So I might be bouncing all around on this. I thought Tommy was gonna get it like many times on this episode, but he didn't. He's gone to California, y'all. Oh, that is, man. And they keep playing bits from Paz's part and the Dre episode. So it's like they're all tying the previous episodes together with this episode. So, and they said Method Man and Mary J. Blige is going to be on Power Book 2. I love them. I love them. So I said I wasn't gonna pay the $8.99 no more, but they probably gonna make me do it, y'all. Whew. So let me try to refresh my memory real quick because I don't write this stuff down. So yeah, I tried to do this live. It wouldn't let me do it because it caught the audio and it said I was gonna be copyrighted. So people were upset at me. I won't try to do that again. I should have known better. So this episode started off with when Tommy stabbed Benny. He drug him into the house. His trail of blood. Then he dresses up as a paramedic. And takes him out on a stretcher. I don't know where he had the stretcher at in his house. And he calls his mom to help him out. And she's constantly dissing him. But he ended up taking Benny to this junkyard and paying this guy off that crushed his body in a car. I guess that's what they did. And so his mom is talking about, where's your girl LaKeisha? She didn't come get you. She said, Keisha is dead. Ghost did it. She said, why would Ghost do that? And he says, for revenge. And his mom's like, come on, baby, it's going to be okay. I'll take you home. So she's going to take him to her house. So the lady I was telling you that looks like a Barbie doll named Debbie Mazar, that is Elisa Marie's aunt and Benny's sister, I believe. So Elisa Marie is like, has Benny called you in the last hour? And she says, you know what that means? You have to have proof of life every hour on an hour. So then Vincent comes in. So they're all related, apparently. So the aunt is yelling at Vincent. And Lisa Marie overhears everything, of course. Let's see. They're going to... Tommy tells his mom he wants to move to California. She says, don't be ridiculous. And then she says, I'm going to score my coke on the street. Come on. Work it out. Your family is here. So Elisa Marie ends up hearing the recording of Tommy killing that I believe it was the FBI agent that Proctor had saved, and her aunt is overhearing. They meet with Tyreek to see if if he knows Tommy. Of course, he lies. The aunt isn't having that. She don't believe him. And she tells him that. And he got that look on his face that he always has. And she's asking, how did you know to take Lisa Marie from the penthouse that night? And he said he just had a taste for hot cocoa. And he talked about he still have nightmares. And she said, I bet you sleep just fine. So she ain't believing him. So then he meets up with Tommy and says they know about you. And he said, Ghost promised me that Proctor got rid of that laptop. And Tyreek said maybe he lied. And he said they didn't believe me when I said I didn't know you. He said, I'm just trying to figure out who they're going to play a recording for next. I understand why you want to kill Ghost, Uncle Tommy, but the recording is still out there. And then he said that's something he got to do now. He asked where Proctor's little girl was staying at. So Lorette's talking that truth. I believe that's truth. I'm not sure about the campaign. And security is peeping him out, and they're moving in close to him. And Tommy sees that they're peeping him out, so he leaves. He runs into Blanca, and she's trying to give him immunity for turning in Ghost. And she said she'll let him skate on Poncho. And he said, who's Poncho? So she promises that she's going to come back and get him. But she also gave him LaKeisha's personal effects, which he looks at the bag and he sees that it's Tasha's earring. Child, I thought Tasha was done. He was about to shoot her. Then she's like, because look at the paper under Yaz's Fox. And so he's like, well, what is that going to tell me? And she said she was going to turn you into the feds. She was going to take cash and she was going to leave. And he said she wouldn't do that. So let's see here. I'm just going through play by play, y'all, because it was a lot going on in this episode. Too much to write down and too much to remember. Because I probably have to watch this again with the kids because they'll like this one. There's a lot going on. So basically he let Tasha, he let her live because LaKeisha was going to turn him in to the feds to protect Cash. And Tasha said, she wasn't about this life. Let's see here. He meets up with Ghost. And he's accusing him of his Ghost says, I'm always cleaning stuff up for you. So this recording that Proctor had the whole time, he telling me that you lied about him to destroy it. He said, what the F are you talking about? And that recording about Lobos, when he gave him the stabby stab, Proctor said he got rid of the recording. So basically Proctor lied to both of them. This is when they were in that the place by the water, the docks, and that's where they was getting shot up by ended up being Cedric the Entertainer. And I was kind of like, what is that all about? So they're going to show more of Cedric the Entertainer on next week's episode. So then Tommy goes to Elisa Marie's aunt's house where they're protecting her, and he takes out 2 of the bodyguards. So he takes Elisa Marie, and Elisa Marie has this big great uncle that's a mob boss, and he's after Vincent to tell me you better get Tommy. This is your fault and all this stuff. The aunt is crying. Tommy is looking through binoculars. He sees what's up at the house because Tommy wants that USB chip, and they're back at Tommy's apartment, and his mom is braiding Lisa Marie's hair and talking to her. She's asking who is Ghost. She's about to tell him, and she's talking to about how Tommy and Jamie were inseparable. And so there's a knocking. Tommy came in and he said, "I told you not to talk to her." And he said, "Yeah, you didn't tell me about the kidnapping either." So this banging on the door, and that ended up being Pa's story when she came in to tell him to kill Jamie for killing her sister. And so he pushes her out, and he's having this little heart to heart with Lisa Marie in the car. She says, "I know you're gonna kill me. Did you?" And she's saying that she always she saw the ring that Tommy was gonna give LaKeisha, and she said it's beautiful. And he said, "Put that away." And then she was talking about how her mom had that pretty ring, and her mom was gonna give it to her when she got married one day, and ended up her mom took it to the pawn shop to get the drugs, and she told Tommy she knew that her dad was let her mom die basically to protect her. And she says he was always trying to protect me, and she feels that she's all alone. And she said, "God, is it terrible that I missed the ring more than my mother?" And Tommy's got tears in his eyes. So while at the car, Two-Bit calls. He calls Tommy, and that's where he was talking about Dre was the one that set them up, that they need to get Dre. And Tommy said, "I can't help you out." That's when he said all that on Dre's episode. So that's where that episode tied into this. So then he drops Lisa Marie off and tell her her aunt that he didn't touch a hair on her head. So Tyreek meets up with Tommy, and he's trying to tell them that they need to become a family again. And basically he's saying he don't care nothing about Ghost. If Dre kills Ghost, he don't care. Tommy was trying to tell him that Ghost didn't have nothing to do about the Proctor situation and nothing about LaKeisha, and that the setup at the docks, he had nothing to do with that. And Tyreek's like, "No, he ruined all our lives." And Tommy was like, "I know he did, but he didn't do none of that." And so Tyreek's not, "Hey, you just gonna back out, man? I knew you couldn't do this effing S." And he said, "Yeah, Ghost set Dre up for Jason's murder." Yep. And he said, "You don't know the whole story with Ghost, just like I didn't know the whole story with Ghost until he didn't know the whole story about his father, Teresi, till after he killed him, and said he now got to live with it every day that he killed his father." So Tommy is panicking, like they're going to kill kill Ghost tonight. And he said, "We want to set up a trap for Dre." And Tyreek's like, "F that, I ain't helping Ghost." I was like, wow. And he said, "Neither should you." And he said, "You need to do this with me. All that snake ass I've done to you, you done to Ghost, Ghost done to me. It's all going to be forgiven. We can be a family again." He said, "If Dre wants to kill Ghost, I ain't getting in the middle of that." I was like, wow. So then Tommy got in his ambush. They blocked him in on the street, and Vincent, and of course Tommy, I thought he was in trouble, but he got out of it again. It was about 6 dudes that was trying to shoot him, and he got Vincent, he got all of them. So then he goes in to the club and sees Ghost on the floor, this is the first time we've seen Ghost's body. He was dying, and he said, "I just saw Dre. Did he do this?" And he said, No. And he said, oh, F, you're going to be all right, brother. You hang in there for me. Come on, you've been worse. You've been through worse than this. So he's like, who tell me who do this? Tommy looks up and he's like, Tommy, no. So Tommy knows who did it. He said, no, Tommy, don't do it. Let it go. So Ghost is dying. Ghost got blood all in his mouth. So Ghost is dying. He said, I tried to get here in time. I tried. Police sirens are coming. And so Ghost dies. So then he's at his mom's house. And the mom said, why did you kill him? Because all these flowers came. And this is after she got the money. And she said, you were always jealous because Jamie got all the girls, got all the attention you wanted. But more than that, he saw life beyond Queens. And you hated him for that. That's why you want to lead to be more like him. But you will never, she said, ever be anything without Jamie. And he said, I'm somebody, Ma. I always been somebody. Yeah, he said, he don't want a GD thing. Ghost had, I'm my own man. Well, whatever you say, she said, to make yourself feel better. But right now, I can't even look at you, she said. I was like, what? She said, you are not the son I raised. He said, Ma, I'm your own flesh and blood. And you're still choosing him over me. I loved him too, Ma, but Ghost is dead. He's gone. He ain't never coming back. I'm all you got. She said, Jamie left me some money, so I don't need you no more. I said, oh, you can go to hell or California. Same thing, she said. Oh. And then she gives him a package that Ghost gave. Well, he gives the keys back. He said, I guess I got no reason to stay here after all. He left you something and he was going to open it up there. She said, he left you something if you care. She said, get out of my sight. I was like, wow. So then they're playing this music. Tommy's standing in his empty loft apartment. Music is playing. Ghost left him this hot ride, looked like a Mustang, I believe that is. So 2-Bit's on the phone talking to him again. And he's telling Tommy that Spanky was the snitch. He rose up on Spanky that looks like Martin and Ludacris combined up on the street. And he has strawberry Nestle Quick and some chips or something. And he said, but now I'm saying F jail S. But you know I ain't going no stand though. And he said, I figured as much, Spank. So he tried to get out of it. He said, I just want to make sure before I move on, I'm starting a new organization. Yeah, you going somewhere? Spanky said, where you going? I really want to know. He said, come on now. You got to tell me, all right? He said, I tell you, but then I got to kill you. California shoots him right in the eye. That was so nasty. They rolled over that Nestle strawberry shake bottle and burst it open. And Spanky just laying there in a pool of blood. Chill. Then he stopped by Elisa Marie's house. And she answered the door. She said, you coming to kill us? And she said, I know you killed my dad, but you won't say it, but I know. She gave him the USB drive thing, flash disk drive, whatever y'all call that thing. And then he said, look, kid, I get it if you feel some type of way about me, but whether I did it or not, it don't matter. He said, but if you want to come and see about it someday, I'll understand. And then she was like, wait. And then she had a locket around her neck with another chip inside of the evidence that had Tommy's voice on the thing. And she gives it to him. And she said, here's the last of it. Then he puts it in his mouth and chews it. He said, nice work, kid. Then he gets on a road, headed to California. And I'm it's 2 minutes left. I said, I hope nothing happened. and he's just driving down the street to warn these regulators. Man, it took me back to like 1994, 95. I don't remember. So, man, this was a good episode. So yeah, y'all, YouTube wants to copyright everything. So, you can't really, it kind of limits your creativity and all. So that was Power episode 13, season 6. It's all your fault. I hope you enjoyed the review. I tried to watch it as I went along and tried to tell you guys the gist of it. But yeah, this is the first time we actually seen Ghost laying there. And so now Tommy knows who did it. So that is very interesting. So we don't even know if we're going to see Tommy again. But I kind of feel like it must be somebody that it might be, it may be Tyreek. Somebody that, because, Ghost had that look on his face like, nah, just let him go. So very interesting. I'm glad they made up for last week's episode because that one put me right to sleep. But this one, total opposite. All right, guys, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you next time.